Hey guys, Pretzelman945 here. Welcome back to another video. Um, Forgive me if I'm tired in this video because I'm really sleepy and it's like 9:40-ish when I'm recording this. But I did want to record um at least one video tonight. I don't know how I'm gonna do another part of my top tens yet, but I did at least want to get one video recorded tonight. And So for context, one of my friends um told me to watch Fight Club. Uh Really, my friend really liked that movie. So he thought I would like it. So, I gave it a try. And this video is a review of that movie, which is actually a video I haven't done in a decent while. The last 10 things I reviewed were Andor and Witcher Blood Origin, and before that was Rings of Power. So it has been a decent while since I recorded a review video, specifically of a movie. I think a movie, it's been ages. Anyway, that's not really relevant. So I'm just gonna cut straight to it. Fight Club is uh, the weirdest and most disturbing movie I have ever seen. Um, And I realize that this opinion is like to the extreme minority of basically a lot of people. Like, to prove my point, I'm gonna pause the recording real quick and just. Yeah, so I mean, for reference, I just looked, and this movie has an 8.8 on IMDb, a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes, and like a 4.7 general rating by Google reviews. So this movie is insanely highly liked by a lot of people. Um, and I'm clearly in the minority about that. Um, let's just get into it. So this movie stars Brad Pitt and Edward Norton. And basically the entire premise is Edward Norton's character is feeling very depressed about a sucky job, and then he meets this guy, Tyler Durden, who's Brad Pitt's character, and then they start like basically beating the shit out of each other, make themselves feel better. And then this eventually evolves into a bunch of other guys form an underground fight club, and that is the entire purpose of the movie. Um, I know it will be simple, but part of me wasn't expecting it to be that simple. But it is what it is. The premise is perfectly fine until the Fight Club turns into a bunch of into this like mini Andrew Tate NPC army that goes around vandalizing and destroying things. Um, Yeah, that's basically like 50% of the movie. And like first, like the kind of thing was like I figured it was just kind of like dark humor, but like the more I watched it, I was like, oh my God, this is disturbing. I don't like this. Um, and that is just one of many giant problems I have with this movie. Um, to be completely honest, the Brad Pitt is not bad as Tyler Durden, and I think, and the weird thing about this movie is I actually think the ending is like really, really good, where Tyler Durden ends up being the same person. I thought that was kind of cool. Um, which is why like I feel incredibly conflicted about this movie because that one aspect's like really really positive, but the rest of it just so negative. Um, it's definitely the most conflicted I've ever felt about a movie. I'll say that much. Um, however, for a movie about fights, the fighting is actually extremely boring and not nearly as big a part of the movie as I would have liked. So there's that. Um, Edward Norton's acting leaves a lot to be desired. I'll be completely honest. Brad Pitt is good, but Edward Norton is just, uh, he is extremely forgettable in this movie. Um, I also think the pacing is extremely erratic. It's very hard to follow what's going on. And also just random bits are like extremely boring. It's very strange to me. Like just like random bits in this movie are just so boring. Uh that it's like almost a snooze fest, and then just like the erratic pacing just like throws it all in the whack. It makes this movie very hard to watch. Um, and like the main thing I feel like is I can understand what they were trying to do, like explore themes of like toxic masculinity in society and just like that and things like that. But it they did not do it right, I feel like at all. Like the directing is bad, the writing's not bad, but the just I feel like the directing and the execution and like the way that they chose to carry out the themes they were trying to display, it just did not work, and it ultimately just ends up making the movie extremely disturbing and by far the weirdest film I've ever seen. Basically, if I had to summarize this movie in a sentence, it is just a 2 hour and 20-minute fever dream of Andrew Tate NPCs beating the shit out of each other. Um, that's about all there is to the movie. Honestly, like, I dislike this movie so much that I was honestly kind of repulsed by it in a way, which is honestly something that's never really happened before. And honestly, the more I think about this movie, the more I dislike it. And honestly, if I had to give it a score, I would give it like a 1.5. This movie is awful. I personally, I realize this is in stark contrast to a lot of other people's opinions about this movie, but I hated this movie. It was terrible. I would not recommend this movie to anyone at all. Uh, uh, Sorry that I haven't had a video with this much negative connotation in a while, but that's just my honest thoughts about this movie. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Good night.